Every refresh of your phone could bring breaking news. Europe's biggest clubs are racing against time, billion-dollar decisions are being made behind closed doors. And before this week is over, some of football's biggest stars could have new clubs. Let's count down the 10 biggest transfers that could happen this week. Number 10. Marcus Rashford. Stay or go? Just 12 months ago, the idea of Marcus Rashford leaving Manchester United felt impossible. Now, it's one of the biggest questions of the summer. Rashford remains under contract, but after another season filled with inconsistency and constant speculation, his future has become a major talking point. Reports have linked him with interest from clubs outside England, while Manchester United continue reshaping their squad under a new direction. The biggest question isn't whether Rashford is talented. Everyone knows he is. The question is whether both player and club still believe he can return to his best at Old Trafford. If United receive a significant offer before the window closes, they'll have one of the toughest decisions of the summer. Sell one of the club's biggest academy graduates, or trust that another fresh start can finally bring back the Rashford who once looked unstoppable. And that uncertainty is exactly why his future remains one of football's biggest stories. Number 9. Cody Gakpo. A few weeks ago, Cody Gakpo leaving Liverpool would have sounded almost impossible. Now, Tottenham are trying to make it happen. Spurs have reportedly stepped up their interest in the Dutch forward, with Roberto De Zerbi looking to add another major attacking option to his squad. And Gakpo is high on that list. But there's one problem. Liverpool don't actually want to sell him. Gakpo remains an important part of their attack, and with the new season approaching, Liverpool have little reason to weaken their squad. So Tottenham may have to make them an offer they simply can't ignore. Reports suggest Liverpool could demand somewhere between £60 million and £70 million for Gakpo. And that changes everything. Because Tottenham aren't trying to sign an unproven prospect. They're trying to take an established Premier League attacker from one of their biggest rivals. Gakpo has already shown he can score, create, play multiple positions, and handle the pressure of playing for a club like Liverpool. For Tottenham, that versatility could be exactly what they need. But there's another twist. Gakpo is reportedly open to the idea of moving to Spurs. While Liverpool's position remains much tougher, they've made it clear that Gakpo isn't simply available for a normal offer. So now the question is simple. Will Tottenham actually pay £70 million to force Liverpool's hand? Because if that offer arrives, Liverpool could have one of the biggest decisions of their summer. Keep Gakpo, or take the money and completely change the equation. And if Tottenham can pull this off, they won't just be signing another winger. They'll be taking one of Liverpool's attacking weapons away from them. Number 8. Julián Álvarez. Few players increased their reputation more over the last year than Julián Álvarez. His versatility, relentless work rate, and ability to score in the biggest matches have made him one of Europe's most valuable forwards. That explains why several major clubs continue to be linked with him whenever questions arise about attacking reinforcements. Among those reported to admire him is Arsenal, although no agreement has been announced and Arteta has refused to discuss individual rumors. For any club considering a move, the challenge is obvious. Atletico Madrid are under no pressure to sell, which means any serious bid would likely require an enormous transfer fee. That's why this is one of the hardest deals on today's list, but also one of the most fascinating. Number 7. Bruno Guimarães. Now we arrive at what may be the hottest transfer story in Europe. For weeks, Arsenal have been heavily linked with Newcastle United captain Bruno Guimarães. The rumors became even louder after multiple reports claimed negotiations had accelerated. While Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta publicly confirmed that the club still expects to make more signings before the transfer window closes, though he stopped short of confirming Guimarães by name. Why is Arsenal so interested? Because Guimarães offers exactly what title-winning teams need. He can control the tempo, win the ball back, break defensive lines with one pass, and lead a midfield under pressure. For Newcastle, though, losing their captain would be a huge blow. Reports differ on the likely fee, with figures ranging from around £70 million to more than £80 million, but one thing is clear. If Arsenal and Newcastle reach an agreement, it could become one of the defining transfers of the entire summer. Number 6. Rodrygo. Just a few months ago, Rodrygo looked untouchable at Real Madrid. Now, his future has become one of the biggest talking points of the transfer window. The reason isn't because Real Madrid want to sell him. It's because competition for places has never been fiercer. With Jude Bellingham already established, Kylian Mbappe leading the attack, and several young stars pushing for regular minutes, every player is fighting for a place in one of the most talented squads in world football. That's naturally led to questions about Rodrygo's long-term role. Several top European clubs have reportedly monitored his situation, hoping that reduced playing time could eventually open the door to negotiations. However, no club has announced a formal agreement, and Real Madrid have not indicated that Rodrygo is available. From Rodrygo's perspective, the decision is simple: stay at one of the biggest clubs in football, or become the undisputed star somewhere else. For now, the answer remains inside Madrid. But if anything changes this week, it would instantly become one of the biggest stories of the entire transfer window. Number 5. Rafael Leão. Sometimes, the biggest transfer stories aren't about players pushing to leave. They're about players every elite club wants. And Rafael Leão is exactly that. AC Milan's superstar has become one of the most dangerous wingers in world football. Explosive pace, elite dribbling, power, and the ability to change a game in seconds. That's why Europe's biggest clubs are watching closely. Chelsea, Bayern Munich, and others. But now, things are heating up. Fenerbahce are reportedly pushing hard, preparing a bid in the 45 to 46 million euros range, with Leão's wages expected to be around 10 million euros per year. At the same time, Galatasaray are also staying in the race, working behind the scenes through intermediaries. Manchester United were previously interested too, but have now stepped back. Despite all the noise, AC Milan's stance is clear. Leão is not for sale unless an impossible offer arrives. Number 4. Ayyoub Bouaddi. Every transfer window has one teenage wonder kid that suddenly becomes the player every European giant wants. This year, that player is Ayyoub Bouaddi. Just 18 years old, the Lille midfielder has gone from one of France's brightest academy graduates to one of the hottest names in world football. His breakthrough performances for Morocco at the World Cup didn't just impress fans. They caught the attention of Manchester City. According to multiple reports, City have already reached an agreement on personal terms with Bouaddi and are now in advanced negotiations with Lille over a transfer. Lille are believed to value the midfielder at around 100 million euros, although discussions have included possible alternatives such as a loan back or a pre-agreement to reduce the overall cost. So why are City willing to spend such a huge fee on a teenager? Because Bouaddi isn't being viewed as just another young prospect. Inside the club, he's seen as one of the best young midfielders in Europe, someone capable of becoming the next leader of Manchester City's midfield for the next decade. And with uncertainty surrounding Rodry's long-term future amid interest from Real Madrid, Bouaddi is increasingly being viewed as a potential piece of City's long-term succession plan. The race, however, is far from over. Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Bayern Munich, they've all shown interest. But right now, Manchester City appear to be leading the race. If they can reach an agreement with Lille in the coming days, one of Europe's brightest young talents could soon be wearing sky blue. Number 3. Bradley Barcola. Just 2 years ago, Bradley Barcola was a rising talent in France. Now, he's one of the most exciting young wingers in Europe. Blistering pace, fearless dribbling, constant threat in attack. At PSG, he's quickly becoming a key part of the future. But his rise hasn't gone unnoticed. Bradley Barcola is now the subject of major transfer rumors, with Liverpool strongly linked to a potential move. Arsenal are also maintaining a serious interest as they continue to monitor attacking options for the future. Paris Saint-Germain, however, are in no rush to sell. The club reportedly values Barcola at around £145 million, a fee that reflects just how highly he is rated inside the Parc des Princes. For now, no deal is on the table. But if a top club decides to test PSG's resolve with a serious offer, this could explode into one of the biggest stories of the entire window. Number 2. Rodri. For weeks, it looked like Rodri was heading to Real Madrid. The Spanish midfielder was being heavily linked with a return to Spain, and Madrid appeared to be in the perfect position to sign one of the best midfielders in the world. But then, Barcelona changed everything. According to the latest reports, Rodri has now given Barcelona the green light for a move. And suddenly, the transfer that looked like a Real Madrid story has become a Barcelona story. This is where things get really interesting. Barcelona have already made their opening move. Their proposal is believed to be around €45 million plus add-ons. Manchester City, however, are not impressed. City reportedly wants somewhere between €70 million and €80 million to let their midfield superstar leave. That's a massive gap. And Barcelona know it. But Barca have something even more important than money: Rodry's preference. The midfielder is reportedly attracted by the Barcelona project, and the idea of returning to Spain and playing in a team built around possession and control. And there could be another huge reason. Barcelona already have a Spanish World Cup winning core inside the squad. So instead of joining Real Madrid, Rodri could potentially walk into Barcelona's midfield and reunite with several of his national team teammates. That changes the entire transfer battle. Real Madrid thought they were competing for Rodri. Now Barcelona are trying to hijack the deal. But Manchester City hold the strongest card of all. Rodri is still under contract. And unless Barcelona dramatically improve their offer, City have no reason to accept €45 million plus add-ons for one of the most important players in their squad. So now there are three questions. Does Rodri really want Barcelona? Will Barcelona raise their offer? And most importantly, will Manchester City drop their €70 to €80 million demand? Because if Barcelona can somehow bridge that gap, the biggest twist of the summer could become reality. Rodri to Real Madrid could suddenly become Rodri to Barcelona. Number 1. Bruno Fernandes. Few footballers divide opinion like Bruno Fernandes. Some fans believe he's Manchester United's most important player. Others believe the club should begin a new era without him. But everyone agrees on one thing: players with Bruno's creativity don't become available very often. Reports this summer have linked him with interest from clubs outside England, while Manchester United continue reshaping their squad. The difficult part for United isn't replacing Bruno. It's replacing everything he brings: goals, assists, leadership, experience. If United decide to cash in, they won't just be selling a midfielder. They'll be changing the identity of their team. For now, there is no confirmed agreement. But with every passing week, the speculation continues to grow. So, those were the 10 biggest transfers that could happen this week. Which deal do you think happens first, and which one won't happen at all? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe for more transfer updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.